Well, good morning and welcome to a brand new week. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that it's our not so favorite day of the week. It's that day of the week when you're like, nah, I'll do it tomorrow.
I have no words for you, but you know what makes Monday really great is it's the start of the new week, so to speak. I like Mondays. It's that time of the week where we hit the ground running with endless possibilities ahead of us.
Perhaps.
I really like Mondays.
Well, that is one way to look at it. Well, thank God it's Monday, the start of a fresh new week, a chance for new beginnings, and a time to take charge of your goals and dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mondays are an opportunity to reset. Press the reset button. And refocus. It's the day when we put our best foot forward and sets the tone for the week ahead.
Plenty of inspiration coming your way, no matter how challenging last week might have been. Hey, we're here to kickstart your Monday with an explosion of inspiration and, well, you can say one hit after another. Yeah. Get ready for it. It's going to be an electrifying show. Welcome. Absolutely. It is definitely the undefeated champion of breakfast shows on Nigerian television, Wake Up Nigeria.
I was actually going to say that.
I know. Well, don't worry. We are not alone. We will be letting you know who's joining us this morning. So don't you worry. You guys just sit back, sit tight, and enjoy your beverages because we are here for the entire start of your Monday morning.
Indeed. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Do you need me to tell you my name? My name is Mazino Appeal. Together, we are your Monday morning motivators. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Now, don't forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And that's across all social media handles, okay? Now, please, it's going to be good to hear from you.
Yeah, please.
Yes,
So use the hashtag. We beg of you.
You're being a part of our journey, so please.
And if you're watching from anywhere in the world, maybe outside Nigeria, don't worry, we've got you guys covered. Just tune in live through our mobile app available for download on Google Play Store and on iOS.
Yes, and for our wonderful audience in Nigeria, switch to GOTV channel 16 or UHF channel 49 or Bank 49, whichever. Yeah, so you can brighten up your Monday morning.
Connect with us on our social media handles, including X. You know, the new one. Yes, the old one that became the new one.
So there's Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X.
X is now called X. Our handle at TVC Connect across all these social media platforms. Please make sure that you join us for some joy and positivity.
Indeed. Now let's tell you what we have in store for you this morning. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Today's show is packed with motivation, inspiring guests, and surprises that will leave you feeling empowered. So rise and shine because Wake Up Nigeria is here to supercharge your mind.
I like that. Let's kickstart this week, please.
So got stuff to keep you motivated.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm pretty sure you can't wait for that one.
Gabriel Balogun is going to be joining us for some motivation. We've had him for the past couple of weeks. It's going to be very exciting to have him again for his final round. We've got to miss him when it's gone. But of course, he will be in here to talk to us about leveraging a powerful combination of strategy and, well, technology.
We've also got a performance coming up for you. And for this, we have Ostep Wesley, professionally known as Wesley K. He's a Nigerian-based sensation artist. We can't wait to have him perform for us.
And then we are going to be joined by a guest inside of our SME segment, the art director and also lead recipe formulator at Nature's Goodies, Karima Jagun Ologolo, will join us at, well, we'll be talking about some very interesting, let's say, strategy in her line of business.
Mango chips.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Good morning.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, good morning.
What a weekend it was. A bit like rainy. So much happened inside of the weekend for me.
Activities, a lot of activities to wrap up the month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was trying to wrap up the month and prepare for August, which is supposed to be vacation month, but since we're all broke, we're spending...
Speak for yourself,
In the mighty name of
I am
Jesus,
a
I am not broke.
Nigerians.
There's just no money in my account, but I am not broke.
The state of my account is a lie.
The state of my account is a temporary phase.
I am with them in the way that you have to find a way to put that light. Someone said that person that put the light at the end of the tunnel. Why didn't he bring it further inside the tunnel?
Why is the tunnel so long?
The tunnel is very long, though.
I think I would say for everybody, you do what you can within. Within limits that you can find a way to mentally, because I think there's a lot happening. So mentally do what you can to keep yourself above water.
Yes. Like 31 days. August that we're entering again, 31 days.
So
Don't you miss
tell
February?
You what I what I'm looking forward to actually is the fact that, yes, within those limits that Mike spoke about, is the fact that you have to strategize everything. There's the holidays. Normally, families would maybe travel or go here or there or do elaborate things to, you know, but in this instance, I think we're focusing inwards and trying to see how we can make more core memories as a family. You know, grandma, grandpa involved, uncles and aunties and everything.
There are staycations now.
Staycations, yes, staycation is the word.
Yeah, so there are different people, hospitality people now in Lagos, especially, and they are all packaging things together for families.
Stay.
Yes, staycation.
For families.
Yes, stay.
We would stay in our house.
Yeah.
We would eat well.
But there's also summer camps coming up for kids.
Yes, for children. Yes.
What do you call this? When you call this in summer camp? We have summer here.
It's summer holiday.
The August break camp.
August break. That doesn't sound
We
as
don't
funky.
have summer.
It doesn't sound as nice.
Any case. Well, good morning once again. My name is Mazino Appeal, and let's begin Wake Up Nigeria with the news. And we begin with the coup in Niger Republic, where the Economic Community of West African states have called for the immediate release and reinstallment of Mohamed Bazoum as the legitimate and democratically elected president of Niger Republic. The regional body also imposed stiff sanctions on Niger Republic, which include a no-fly zone over the country and an option to use force if the coup plotters fail to relinquish power within 1 week. TVC News States House correspondent Femi Akande reports.
Strong sanctions expected to strangulate the government of the coup plotters in Niger Republic have been announced by ECOWAS. The coup in Niger is a setback to recent efforts made by the regional body to strengthen democracy and reject all forms of military takeovers. President Bola Tinubu, as chairperson of ECOWAS, wants member countries to comply with the sanctions imposed and remain resolute until constitutional order is restored in Niger Republic.
Disrupting the democratic order has left the people in a state of uncertainty and vulnerability. I've briefed some of you about the actions that I've taken. I'm prepared to abide by all resolution necessary to respond to this assault and to make sure that our colleague, the President Bazoum, is safe and that democracy is restored in Niger Republic.
The president of the ECOWAS Commission insists Mohamed Bazoum remains the legitimate leader of the landlocked West African country.
Resolve as follows. 1. His Excellency President Mohamed Bazoum remains the legitimate elected president and head of state of the Republic of Niger, recognized by ECOWAS, the African Union, and the international community. 2. Condemn in the strongest terms the attempted overthrow of constitutional order in Niger and the illegal detention of His Excellency President Mohamed Bazoum, President and Head of State of Niger, as well as members of his family and government. Call for the immediate release and reinstatement of President Mohamed Bazoum as President and Head of State of the Republic of Niger. In the event the authorities' demands are not met within 1 week, take all measures necessary to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. Such measures may include the use of force.
There are fresh hopes that the regional body will find its teeth and bite. Femi Akande, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, outside Nigeria, at least 40 people have been killed in an explosion in Pakistan during a rally organized by Islamist Party. More than 100 people were also injured in the explosion in northwest Bajor district, where Jaminat Ulema-e-Islamah Fals was holding a meeting. Police told the reporters that they have found evidence suggesting that the explosion was a possible suicide attack. The officers say a rescue operation has been completed and all injured have been taken to hospitals. Officials have warned the death toll may rise further as 15 people are in critical condition. The motivation behind the attack is not yet clear. Security forces have cordoned off the area and an investigation into the explosion is taking place. Now, hundreds of people were attending the Jew-If Workers Convention on Sunday in the town of Kar in the Pakistan tribal district of Bajar. To join us inside the first hour, or rather second hour, for more. Stay tuned. There's more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria. All right, welcome back. This is a call out to anybody out there who wants to bring us some breakfast. I would like some because I'm very hungry. Oh, we have a chef coming, so I shouldn't be worried.
Wow.
In any case.
There's no chef coming. Because of you, I'm going to tell the chef to go back home. You will not eat this morning. How do you start a conversation? Because you are the only one here that is hungry.
Wow.
Please, can we move on?
Yeah, tell the story.
What happened just now? I don't
Oh, yeah,
know.
tell the story.
Is it not you that has the story?
This is like Messi and Ike.
Yeah, please. So Mazino doesn't want. Okay.
What happened? What happened? That makes any case stories.
Messi is telling some really damning details about Ike's personal hygiene.
Oh.
And it's very, very damning. It's disgusting. I felt that it was bad. Don't know anybody in reality show.
Don't.
Open your...
This thing he said. It's almost I don't know anybody that works on radio or TV. But they'll use your story.
Wow. And we're
All right, let's...
It's sad. I think it's terrible when you were at one point someone meant something to you.
Yeah, and then you expose.
This is me.
Yeah.
People meant something to me at one point in time and they no longer, it happens with life.
Yes.
It would never happen. At the most, I can be angry. Maybe after that period.
You learn a lesson.
And general insults. Maybe like,
learn a
oh,
lesson.
that person did rubbish. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Idiot. But that's it.
Well, no details.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
details.
But that's
Don't
it.
don't
I can't start going into, no. It's,
Yeah, you with
I'm
the,
embarrassed.
you with that time. Yep. Nah. In any case, that's not the story for today. Maybe we'll get more details on that and talk about it tomorrow. For today, it's an instance of a
Mazinos, I
makeup.
can't resist. So you know you used to wipe your...
Wow.
Because you
Mary.
said Ike, you are Ike
I need
now.
to,
I
I
have to ask.
this time I thought you were too.
Mary, tell us our story for
You
today.
better tell us the story.
So we did some breathing exercise over the weekend.
We have an instance to ask you guys.
Tata
what you
will come
think.
out too.
All right, hang on. This instance involves a makeup artist who goes over to a client's place to have her makeup done, to help have her makeup done. And the client actually just simply requests for, I want
Regular makeup.
Not regular, just
Makeup
come
for
and
me.
do my
Yes,
makeup.
come
She
and do my
goes over, starts the makeup, and while she's doing that, has already charged, given a charge. While she's doing that, the client lets it slip that it's actually for a wedding and that she is the bride. And the makeup artist felt like, wait, oh, no, now, if I knew it was for a
The client
wedding.
did not let it slip. You should know how to
No,
tell
she did
stories.
let it slip.
Her mom came in as she finished her makeup and
slipped
said,
somehow.
Iyawo.
Exactly.
And let's quickly hurry
It
up.
slipped
Your
somehow.
husband's
Iyawo.
family is there.
Talk.
Wow.
So, and then the artist is like, oh, so it's a wedding. I should have charged more. So she felt scammed. That's the story. The comment section is where the drama is. Because people felt that it was irresponsible for the makeup lady and a sense of entitlement to think that she deserved more for wedding as against maybe regular makeup or any other kind of makeup. I, however, am on the side of the makeup artist because I have similar instance with what I do as a voiceover artist. If you ask me for a voiceover, if it's education, I will charge you different from if it's a financial institution. Sometimes even...
What?
Yeah, I'll charge you different.
You finally
No, but that's what I do.
So in truth, I feel, she should have been transparent with what the makeup was for, especially since it's a wedding. Well, most people know now that wedding makeup is on another level. They go all out. They make sure that everything for a wedding makeup is done to perfection because they also want the pictures of this bride. They also want to be able to say they're proud of what they've done, right? But imagine if the bride goes with just basic makeup she could have gone with anywhere and then says, oh, that was the makeup artist. Everybody will
Exactly.
say, oh, is this the makeup she did for you for a
Exactly.
wedding?
The bride is her
No.
billboard at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But
Mary
Mike,
feels
please,
different.
all of that are, how do we put it now? You're talking about the voiceover. If a financial institution should call you, you won't say the same thing you
No, it's a
said
different price list.
with an end. No, but I said you won't be saying the same thing.
No, I wouldn't. And
Now, in this situation, the makeup artist probably did not, because from what I know, wedding makeup is a little bit extra when it comes to the materials.
Yeah.
You push it out
Exactly.
more. You understand? So it's about the service. The service rendered was at a particular level.
Exactly.
So it doesn't. I don't think you have any obligation to tell the person what you want to do. Come and make me up. Yes,
So,
I
now,
don't have any obligation.
Before I even tell you my opinion, so Maz, what you charge a bank is
Hey,
similar
wahala.
to.
This
You
is
are
not
the
about
one that said
Mazino
it though.
now.
What you
Okay, I'll give you.
It has to do with if you're going for a wealthy client.
No.
You know quite.
No.
Wait, let me land though. When you are dealing
Anybody
with
with
a
a pen and a
regular
paper, I wanna
client,
write stuff down.
You better write it down or you type it down.
I better.
When you are dealing with a regular client, you can say, okay, what's your budget? Okay, let's work with your budget. Your budget from the way I've sized you up, maybe an SME, for example, you can probably just pay me 50,000 naira for this voiceover.
Okay.
But then I see a client that can afford 200,000 naira. In your case, a bank. I am saying it so that they can know what you are doing.
That's not it. That you got
Wait,
it
let
all
me
wrong.
finish.
You got it all wrong.
Like, you can defend yourself after. You
will
now
have
say
to.
because of that, your charges, of course, cannot be the same with an SME because this is an established company. This is 500,000 naira or 200,000 naira at this, depending on
There's
what
a
it is.
reason why.
Now,
No, just,
wait,
I
you people
will.
can give me your reason.
I will.
However, what I am saying in this case is this. I called you up. Please come and do my makeup for me. You get to my house. You finish my makeup. After my makeup, you find out that I am a bride. You now tell me that I'm supposed to pay you for bridal makeup that you did not do.
Can I come in?
Wait,
This
oh,
is
wait,
me. I have to defend myself.
that was why I patiently waited for everybody to give their
Finish
opinion.
quick. There's no time.
Says the person that is always taking his time.
Oh,
Let me
God.
finish. Oh. Now, you are now telling me that I scammed you for doing me regular makeup for a wedding. Hello?
Please,
What
ma.
if my budget is 50,000 naira? You
Mary,
charge me 300,000.
can I come to the
know
defense
can't
of that
afford
lady
it.
first?
And I'm telling you that, okay, you know what? Do the one that my budget can afford. Do regular makeup. You're
Mary.
not saying because I'm going to use it.
Mary, listen. First off, there was a problem in the communication. As a makeup artist, I expected her to actually have gotten the full detail. What is this makeup for? Especially as a bride, after that makeup is done, after the pictures are taken, that's a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
My work is going to be out there. Are you paying me for that longevity?
Yeah.
As against when it's just a regular makeup.
That's
so
one.
the same thing. Take it and put it in my instance now. When you ask me for a voiceover, I ask you what platform, what's the volume, where is it going to be used, and all of that. It matters. Because if a financial, I don't want to say bank, financial institution now takes that, they're going to use it on so many different platforms for a very long time, as against if it is something that is time-bound.
This is
that,
makeup.
wait, I let you finish, woman.
You would not finish.
What's going on with mommy and daddy today?
Mommy and what? You people are getting...
No.
Hey.
Although I think, like I said, in the voice and the makeup is quite different. Your voice is recognizable even if somebody doesn't attest or affirm to it. But for a makeup artist, just like you remember in the issue with the influencer, most of the time they might not tag you. So they might put the makeup there and it might last on and they don't tag you and nobody would know.
True.
So that's why it's a little bit different. But I say on both sides, the arguments to be had, and I don't think it is morally wrong or in any way, because people are talking about morals there, because like she said, for wedding makeup, it's a little bit extra. Come and do my makeup and go.
Oh,
So
there's
a reason why it's extra.
Now, Titi, how many times have you heard your voice or seen your picture somewhere else and that? Well, you guys only paid me for
that
use for
one.
one.
Yes.
And then
But
years
even
after
then,
you see your
even
pictures
for
on
a
billboards.
wedding, there are demands on the bride that during
I'm
the
hearing my
wedding,
voice and stuff.
right, during the wedding process, during all the dancing, all the, greeting people, you don't want that makeup to start falling and melting.
Hey, did she
There's
say
some
she should
things
wait?
that they put in place to make sure that that makeup
is
stays
permanent, at least for the
permanent
duration
for
of that
at
event.
least
And she
12
said she
hours.
does not want.
And then halfway through the wedding,
So
the thing will be
I
melting.
want
They will
I want a
blame-
top
they will
makeup
say,
artist.
Oh, where is the makeup artist? Who was that
but
person?
why
I will never use
Just
her.
imagine I want a top makeup artist like Banke Meshida. And then I say, okay, well, come and do my makeup. And then she tells me that, okay, for bridal makeup is 1 million. But I want her to do it.
Yeah.
And then she says regular makeup 200. And I'll say, okay, fine, let me do the one of 200. I'll
That will
manage
last
it.
3 hours.
That'll
You will do
last. Is it, have I not paid for the
That's why
regular
I said
makeup?
they did not
But
conclude.
you see-
Communication
but you
was
probably
wrong in the
talk-
beginning.
The most important thing is why do you have to do makeup for your wedding?
Wow. Wow.
Let the man see
That's
what
a
he's
very
getting married
valid
to.
point.
Why?
That's a valid point.
Why?
Because the man sees what is...
Why do you have to do extra makeup?
Valid points.
I mean,
Yes.
It is traditional.
Fact, can somebody give me
So
vibes? don't have to
I
do
remember
makeup for
my
the
mom. I remember
accept
my
that
mother
challenge.
telling me that the day of the wedding is one of the days that the woman is supposed to look and feel most beautiful, because
Exactly.
especially by the time Belle enter and her nose starts doing like this,
No.
and her neck
So
starts
she'll be
doing
using the
like
pictures to remind herself.
this. Remind herself.
I also
Incidentally-
think, Mike,
it is
I also
also
think that
incidentally, there are some people who, without the makeup, they look
Alicia Keys.
Amazing.
very,
yes.
very good.
Yeah.
And not everybody's that way, and so you have to use the makeup.
I also think that as a product or service provider, you are at liberty to place your price wherever you want.
Yeah.
That communication with you and your client, if the client says you are too expensive, feel free to not take on that job. Move on.
Move
Very
on.
simple.
See,
Yes.
you people are
It's in
still
the clarity
missing the
of
point.
it.
You are free to move on to wherever you are moving on to. But the case here is the person took what they could afford from your line of
She
services.
scammed her. She did not.
You know, makeup artists. The reason they charge so much for weddings, one, they will do makeup on your face with some ingredients. Then you are supposed to stand by throughout the wedding to be doing touch-up.
Okay.
They did not ask you to stay for touch-up. They did not ask you for anything. Just do your makeup and
it's so
go.
funny,
And you did
in
not
the
even
same
do bridal
vein, in the
makeup
same
in
vein,
this instance.
corporate clients have
There's another-
many more demands. They will come back for retakes, re-edits.
I'm sorry.
They will come back. They will
I-
ask you all sorts of questions.
I want to also represent the views of everybody behind the camera and in my ear, saying that the makeup artist was wrong. But in this, and you said something, it is a representation of her art, her ability. It is her billboard. She has to, she must do the best. So if you let her know that this is for a wedding, she will do what she knows that people can say, that was a fantastic bride. I want to use her. Not that was rubbish. Who is it? So I don't use that person. It's
So
very
since my son is
important
going
for
down
her.
this lane, so somebody gives me
That's
a
the
script.
point,
Yes.
Somebody gives me a script and says, I would like you to voice this. And when as I'm going through the script, I now see an institution that I know can afford more.
No,
It's my
this is my
own.
field.
Hello.
Let me let you
It is
know.
my own decision whether I want to go on with it.
Yes,
or
I agree.
need the money so much, I will do
But
it.
at least let
but
me
you
know.
can't. No.
At least let me know.
No.
Mary, calm
No.
down. Stop shouting. Calm
In
down.
this time of what are we calling fuel subsidy removal, everybody is managing.
You won't spoil my business.
See, if you can even do makeup for me for 1,000 naira, I'll use it for the wedding. What you talking about? Everybody is trying to cut costs. You are
Please,
saying,
before she ruins my craft, let's do a break.
Casino does voiceover for 500 naira per second.
God forbid.
Good morning and welcome back. It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Today is Monday, July 31st, 2023. Let's say hi to Mike. Mike is right here.
Yeah.
with me.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, let's see what we have.
starting with?
Yeah, The Guardian.
Okay.
It says here, ministerial screening, economy, rule of law, foreign policy, security, top agenda for nominees. I think that's a solid one to start with. Most people are aware of the amount of lobbying that's happening presently in Abuja. But I do believe that people are more interested in what these nominees are actually all about this time, as opposed to, in quotes, who they know. It's not a popularity contest as it's been in the past. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, well, it's politics as it is. The chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, submitted the list, but and even though the list of nominees didn't have portfolios assigned to them, but there was something he said. He said that anybody can do anything. I don't think that's the best scenario. I don't want anybody to do anything. I want it to be seen that if you're thinking of finance, if you're thinking of budgeting, if you're thinking of the economy, I want it to be specific. I don't know if you get what I mean. So, for instance, if I look, for four hosts and say, okay, who is the most financially, who's more inclined towards financial matters? Who's more inclined towards sporting issues? Who's more inclined towards youths and women and youth? That is a ministry, and then we heard that there are new ministries. So maybe he's saying that just to let you know that look, it's about the people. But I think that they will probably, or that the president has looked at it and looked at people who are fit for different places. You can't just put anybody. I mean, imagine, carry anybody and making person Minister of Finance or something.
So I think most people's grouse is that in the past it's maybe happened before, but in the end, it's happened before that you didn't expect this person to fit into that role, but they got there and they did it.
You can't appoint people to head ministries in that way. You can't. You have to know that this person is suited for this. There has to be, you have to look back at what the person has done. You can't just put
They have to have a track record. And what the expectations are, according to the cover of The Guardian, it says here, addressing insecurity challenges, of course, foreign policy, economic revamp and poverty reduction, respect for the rule of law. And there also on the cover there are some of the nominees' photographs as well. Now, it also says here, unemployment concerns as 7 firms lose 624 billion naira to naira depreciation. It also says here NLC mobilizes, meets civil society ahead of Wednesday's action. So there has been a lot of back and forth about this action, the strike action. I think they're finalizing that Wednesday is going ahead, but there's still a lot of time between now and Wednesday to have quite a few more meetings to finalize on what
I think everybody has it has been well shown and stated that every candidate, no matter who won, subsidy was already going to go out. You understand? So the issue now is about how we go through these times. It was not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. Hopefully, the grouse in the number of people is that maybe our leaders sacrificing as much as we are. It might be easier that way if I know that the person who's leading me, who is expecting me to sacrifice, is also sacrificing. So that's where some people might have an issue.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they can show that, look, we are all going through it, and then this process should be, we should get over this as soon as we can.
We have the Punch newspaper with us as well, and the major headline here says, uncover CBN, NMPCL mess. Economists groups tell Tinubu's special investigator. Tinubu appoints Obazi special investigator, EFCC, police, others to join probe. Investigators to go after ex-Buhari appointees, private individuals hiding government funds. Top left there, NLC insists on Wednesday strike, mobilizes workers. It also says here 15 ministerial nominees submit credentials ahead of screening. Kanu returns to DSS custody after checkup by personal doctors. And we have here, under the photo story, it says, Niger coup plotters dismiss ECOWAS threat, Bazoum reinstatement. NDLEA nabs Lagos nightclubs drug suppliers, government warns operators. And Operation Flush, 88 robbery suspects arrested in Lagos, clampdown continues. All right. So I was actually really interested in touching on this issue of the Niger coup. There's still a lot of sketchy details coming in from all over the news now. And
the thing is that
some details in the headlines later.
The thing is that with ECOWAS, you have to understand that they have thought about it before they even. I mean, if they respected the authority of ECOWAS, they wouldn't do that, would they? So the point is that the coup is a revolt against instituted or elected or constituted authority, as it were. And so in that particular manner, you'd expect that dialogue in some form of ways, or we hope that it doesn't degenerate into something whereby troops are going to be sent and all of that. No, but the point is that it's not strange that they, do not recognize the authority of ECOWAS, and they will kick against whatever ECOWAS says. And for me, using force at the end is the people that are going to suffer at the end of the whole thing. So some way or somehow, we need to come to a compromise and ensure, because I mean, in West Africa, it's now looking like a pattern. It's happening more than once and all of that. Burkina Faso, Niger now, and all of that, it's happening. So, and that was where President Tinubu mentioned and said that, look, there is a zero tolerance for coup attempts or coup plots, as it were. So they have to come to a compromise, find a way, talk about it, get that sorted, and just get to the dialogue table. Let's hope that we can sort out everything on the dialogue table.
It's a similar headline on the Daily Trust this morning, still on Niger. Coupists seek Russia's help as ECOWAS mulls military action, which, of course, was already in question. Now, clash imminent as regional body orders borders closure, no-fly zone. Chiefs of defense staff asked to act. French embassy attacked. Apparently, U.S. considers cutting off ties. Military intervention would be catastrophic, according to an expert there. It also says below the masthead, 1 killed, several shops burnt as Imo government demolishes house of settlements. Air connectivity worsens on northern routes, fares skyrocket. On the fuel price hike, states strategize ahead of Labour's protests and strike. And it also says here, troops deployed in states as Nema warehouse looted in Adamawa. Finitri declares curfew as 4 hoodlums killed, 80 arrested. States yet to receive grains 10 days after Tinubu's directive.
Remember when during the lockdown, when something happened and we saw people taking off packs of noodles and all of that from warehouses and all of that? We need to do better, and it's not just about the president, it's about the leaders. I mean, there are state governments, we have 3 tiers of government, and then there's the local government, apart from the fact that you have representatives and all of that. How are you engaging your constituents, as it were? Because there is hunger in the land, and look at people now.
Desperation.
People would use the guise of, some people say they're going to loot warehouses and loot palliatives. People would use that as a guise to also rob and go out of their way to take things that belong to other people, not just what is a palliative that was handed down from the government.
A lack of structure and order is a lack of structure and order across board. It's not just about the looting of just the warehouses now, it's across board. All right, then that's all we can take when it comes to the headlines in the dailies for now. But of course, we'll be hoping to see your opinions, contributions, and comments as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tell us what you think. We will be back after this quick break. Stay with us.
Good morning once again, beautiful people. We hope that, hey, you're feeling charged up because, hey, Monday morning is all about embracing the week that's ahead with a positive mindset, by the way.
Something has changed in the past hour. You started with Monday right now, and now you're being positive. That's good.
Mary hit me in the stomach, by the way.
I did not. I hurt myself, though. But I did not. Don't mind him.
That's because I got a six-pack. She hurt herself on my rack.
Not to be yourself on your belt. That's right. It's time for us to shift into high gear and conquer this new week like champions that we are. Yes. So let's turn those Monday blues into Monday hues.
You're rhyming. That's very nice. Now, we know that Mondays can be very tough, but remember, it's the day that you have to set the tone for the rest of the week. So we've got your back, and we've got the perfect dose of motivation for you guys.
And fun as well. Never leave out the fun. That's the idea. So whether you're heading to work right now, dropping the children at school, or just enjoying, oh my goodness, a lazy morning in
Which
bed.
will never happen.
Why did you cut my fantasy shorts?
Sorry, bringing you back to reality.
Whatever you're doing right now, Wake Up Nigeria is here to be your guide to an extraordinary Monday.
Of course, we don't do that alone because inside the kitchen, Mike Mesicano and of course Titi are also quite motivated by our little, whatever.
Vibes.
Yeah, they're giving us vibes. They're giving us hues and shapes.
Messi and Nike vibes. So if they enter house now, reality show, they say, that Mary, she did this one.
Exactly.
That's what they would do.
Eventually.
Because I'm bringing family matter out on there. That's what they would do. But yeah, guys, it's good to be here on the morning. Let's get it. It's the second lap of the show. Let's get it, make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Mike, small play.
I don't know, man.
Small play. Just escalated.
Do you remember Sesame Street? The guy in the can, Oscar, who ironically is also Titi's husband. That's Mike. That's Mike, quite frankly.
Can you see that this does look like blue on air?
Yeah, it's a hue, but this is actually purple.
Yeah, it's actually
royal
purple, but it looks
purple.
like blue.
Purple and lilac. That's the combo.
All right, I do admit I'm a bit jealous of your cohesion this morning, both of you. Unlike who I got stuck with here. My name is Mazino Appeal. She is.
You got.
What's her name again?
My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi. You see, the second hour is to power up your Monday.
Yes, indeed.
Note what I'm going to do with this, but power up your Monday, okay? Let's keep it going.
Don't forget to share your Monday morning moments with us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'd like to know across all our social media platforms, including X. And for our
what is your own with X? Everybody knows Twitter is now X.
I like it.
Really X.
International viewers, Jerry, please make sure you download the app on your phone and you can carry us with you anywhere if you're in Nigeria and still want to go about. All you need to do is download that on Google Play Store or on the iOS.
Absolutely. And if you're right here in Nigeria, okay, just switch to GOTV channel 16 or UHF band 49, okay? So we are available terrestrial, we're available on GOTV. That way you do not miss a minute.
We are at TVC Connect on social media across all platforms, so make sure you get the behind the scenes on Wake Up Nigeria on there. We've got an incredible lineup for you guys for the next 45 minutes, so some inspiring guests coming your way, something to sparkle up and brighten your day. Thank you very much. Let's let them know what we have coming, please.
Okay, so motivated. That's what we are right now, okay? So we've got your Monday covered with rays of positivity and empowerment. And so, to do justice to motivation is Gabriel Balogun. We cannot wait to have that conversation with him in a bit. He'll be here to discuss making learning a part of your life.
Now we have Ostep Wesley, professionally known as Wesley K. He's a Nigerian-based sensational artist, song composer, producer, and also songwriter. He's passionate about his music, especially Afrobeat and hip-hop, but Afro-pop as well. So join him as he performs God's Grace.
Now on SME, the arts director and lead recipe formulator at Nature's Goodies, Karima Jagun Ologolo, will join us at Nature's Goodies. Well, that's what she owns, rather. We'll be having a conversation with her in a bit.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I was actually going to touch a little bit on the issue of summer camps or holiday camps, as Mike Mesepeno would prefer they are called.
No, it's what they are. We don't have summer in Nigeria, do we?
Yeah, so you want to call it Hamatan camp? Or
Now that's
rainy season camp?
If it was then,
camp.
or maybe go by the month, but we don't have summer here.
Okay. Well,
I still think we don't embrace our culture or our seasons as much as we should.
As much as we should, yeah.
We do have the rain semesters and Hamatan semesters, but that's as much as we've heard about those seasons. We don't celebrate them like you celebrate summer, winter, and all the rest. And we have such very interesting seasons
Autumn.
here.
I actually think that the celebration of seasons abroad, all over the world, I think it's just a marketing strategy. I think
for
they
products,
just use
actually.
it to
True.
sell goods and services.
This is true.
That are more relevant during those seasons. That's why they just highlight, oh, summer is here. You need that new outfit. Are you using the same swimsuit from last year? No.
Let's do the same, why don't we, in Nigeria?
Come and buy raincoats.
Right.
Come and buy umbrellas. That was your please, let's talk about the children in the...
Yeah. So the issue
holiday
now
camp.
for me is I feel like a lot of the kids are stressed out.
Time to play.
And I feel like these kids need room to actually just play.
Be kids.
And they can learn through play. I get it that parents are still going to work. You know, there are a lot of obligations, no matter what the kids are doing in school or out of school. But let them rest.
We found a
Let
solution.
the children breathe.
Let them breathe. We
Like,
found a small
seriously.
solution. So my wife took interest in French lately.
Okay.
So she's going for French classes.
Okay.
And on just one day, my daughter actually accompanied her. And she found a new love
For French.
for French. So now they're both going to school together.
Okay.
And it's very interesting when they get back home because I can see the bond. It's so beautiful. They're trying to speak in French together and everything. And then they're
Any
trying to-
FOMO in there?
It's what's that? What's the FOMO?
Fear of missing out? I don't know.
Yeah, I do, exactly. I do feel that. Because they are having such a fun time, and I like, you know,
You might just join them.
I
French
feel
class.
like it. But I love the fact that she.
So
my
when they
daughter
say,
now-
Daddy,
yeah, tell-
well,
yeah.
you grunted, you
What-
smile.
What is
You
that?
know what that means, right?
Yeah.
You have a big head. That's what we are talking about, holiday camp and all. The reality is,
I'll get you back.
so you already did yours earlier. The reality is 9 to 1 is what some schools do.
Yeah.
And nowadays, schools hardly do the curriculum, the regular curriculum. So there's that encouragement to do coding, to do robotics,
Yeah.
something different from the norm, from what you do in school.
Music.
So I keep wondering why robotics and coding isn't part of
Actual
you know,
school
the actual school. I
Expensive.
still don't understand it. Apart from the expense, some of these schools charge a lot already.
Yeah.
So it's only fair that you include some of this for children who are interested.
I know we have to go to weather, but
then,
real
of
quick, I
course,
want to
yeah.
say this. Yeah, I think you're putting too much academics into their lives.
Yeah.
Let them play.
Let them
One way to
play.
play music. It's just fun. It's.
They need
just
to-
let them learn a bit of music this holiday.
Let the children breathe.
Let them breathe.
The one that did not do well in school does not deserve to breathe, though. Please, go and brush up and catch up.
Let's do the weather. Well, Mike, you wanted to say something real quick?
See, that's the thing. Not everybody will excel academically. It doesn't mean they won't
They
do
are not
exceptionally
failures.
well
Yeah.
in other
Not
parts
that
of
thing.
life.
Yes, yes.
Indeed. Welcome, second hour here. We begin, as usual, with the news. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now, Adamawa State Governor Amadu Umaru of Interior has imposed a 24-hour curfew in Yola following the invasion of NEMA office by suspected thugs. The hoodlums came out in numbers on Sunday morning, attacking people with machetes and breaking into business premises and also homes, carting away property. Our correspondent, Olabi Adenisi, filed this report.
The operational office of the National Emergency Management Agency in Yola was broken into and looted by hoodlums. The attackers are believed to be members of homegrown terrorist group known as the Sheila Boys, who have been terrorizing the state capital. They have been hiding under the pretext of being disgruntled by the subsidy removal to unleash mayhem on innocent citizens. The state police commander and other security agents have now restored peace in the state capital with some of the perpetrators arrested. The PPRO in Adamawa State said that his men were able to recover some stolen goods and make some arrests.
Report reaches the command early hours of today that some hoodlums have gone down to vandalize and loot some government and private warehouses that is located within the state capital. There and then the Commissioner of Police now raised the operational asset of the command and deployed them to go down to the ladder and prevent them from going ahead to vandalize and possibly loot the warehouses. So all of a sudden, that instruction has been carried out, and as I'm talking to you now, 25 male suspects were apprehended and some items that were looted from the warehouses. This is one. Secondly, the command have succeeded in preventing them from going beyond the first warehouse that was attacked.
State coordinator of NEMA spoke on damage done to the agency.
What happened today is a high level of criminality, because you could see there are some people there who have been arrested. They enter with cutlasses, some with machetes and dangerous weapons. So it's a high level of criminality.
Meanwhile, Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri has declared a 24-hour curfew on the state capital. The governor in a statement said there will be no movement throughout the state. Only those on essential duties with valid identification would be permitted to move around during the period of the curfew. The governor appealed to citizens and residents of the state to comply with the directive, adding that any person found contravening the order would be arrested and made to face the full wrath of the law.
Stay tuned. We've still got a couple of minutes here inside of Wake Up Nigeria for the second hour.
It's time for some motivation. Yes, so Gabriel Balogun is right here. And today we are talking about making learning a part of your life. Earlier on today, on the couch, some of the hosts and I agree that, hey, it's interesting for children to learn through play, as play can also contribute to their learning process. Yes, you're an adult, but learning should become part of your life. He's dedicated his life to being an advocate for transforming learning and development into a strategic business driver, leveraging a powerful combination of strategy, technology, people, and content. It's great to have you in the building, Gabriel.
Thank you very much.
All right, so you came to give us today. I was expecting the suit and tie, but you didn't give us that today.
Nah.
So what's the motivation behind this look?
I think that I just wanted to not necessarily tone it down a bit, but I wanted to appear a bit different than the usual student. I mean, I'm a style advisor, so my ability to play around different looks.
Okay, well, it's working. And of course, you said making learning part of your life is important. Now, you've learned what motivates you. Sometimes you said earlier today that you woke up today and you didn't feel like putting on a suit, but it didn't feel right to put on the suit, right? Because you've learned that about yourself. It feels like people need to start learning more about themselves little by little. Talk to us.
Yeah, I think that the biggest gift you can have is self-awareness. Your ability to know what turns you on, what makes you, and I mean turn you on not sexually, but what turns you on, what activates your energy. There's a concept of, and it's pretty interesting that you brought up the whole clothing thing. There's a concept called enclothed cognition, which means that it basically is a psychological effect a specific piece of clothing has on your mood. So there's certain people that would not do certain things except they dress a certain way because it cheers them up. And that comes from self-awareness. So I think the first thing you need to settle is, who am I? What makes me tick? What do I like to do? What do I not like to do? Yes, and once you can identify that, you consistently will now begin to figure out, okay, should I learn more about this or should I not learn this?
So there was something else we discussed earlier about learning not just being about the classroom. There are other places you can learn. I feel like as a culture, or as a people, we've sort of just restricted learning to a classroom or a Zoom meeting at this point, because a lot of people are learning online courses. So when you say learning, what are you making reference to?
So when I say making learning a part of your life, what I'm saying is you need to figure out how you like to learn.
Okay.
I like to call it your learning toolbox. Some people have turned some people like to drive, for instance, I like to drive alone. Why? Because my car is my library.
Okay.
I plug in a podcast, I'm going on a 2-hour drive, but I'm learning. I don't have to sit in front of a Zoom. I don't have to be in a Zoom meeting to learn. You understand? Other people learn, there's this type of learning called kinesthetic, where you learn with activity. So you learn how to be a better runner by running.
Okay.
You learn how to be a better tailor by staying on the machine.
Okay.
So you have to, that's why I say it begins with self-awareness. You have to discover, how do I like to learn? And then create like a learning toolbox that says, okay, for conceptual learning, I will do podcast and YouTube videos. For developmental, attitudinal trainings, I would rather just take a coach or a mentor that can shape my mindset. And once you discover what works for you, you just keep, it's just like an engineer that has spanners, screwdrivers. So you just create your learning toolbox and go to it every time you need to learn something.
It does feel like our environment is a little bit limiting in some areas. For instance, some of the things you've made reference to now involve the internet. If, for instance, the cost of data is a limitation, people might be discouraged, even though that is the best way they learn. Now, finding a mentor, being able to shadow someone in a particular field also takes time, money, and energy to try and track this person down, to approach this person. So it does feel like the environment is a little bit limiting. When people consider those limitations, it sort of makes them draw back from this issue of learning. You know what, I've learned enough. So this brings me to my next question. What age do you think learning should stop?
I don't think learning ever stops.
Okay.
There's this popular musician, I think his name is Mozart.
Okay.
Mozart started learning music at age 3. He wrote his first composition at 5. That's how magnificent the brain is. And doctors even say that your baby begins to understand your voice from when they're in the mother's womb. So it means that all through your life, you're learning. And sometimes we are learning subconsciously, where you actually pick up things. So have you ever had maybe a mom or a senior sister that you spend so much time with, and then you realize that you're on your own and you're doing the things they do, and you're wondering, I just caught myself doing what my mom does, and I actually don't like it. So I think that there is no time to stop learning. You have to consciously, the mistake people make is that they don't intentionally do it. So I usually say, identify what you want to learn. I'm a big fan of identifying things. Identify what you want to learn. Create a to-learn list, not necessarily a to-do list.
To-learn list.
Create a to-learn list and then block time to do it. So this month, I want to learn how to be a better conversationalist. I'm going to listen to this podcast and this video. I'm basically just going to start talking to people. Start listening, start knowing what right questions to ask so that I can become a better conversationalist. And so that's intentionality.
I wanted to just touch as quickly as possible on the people that have learned certain habits, bad habits, let's say, and are trying to unlearn them. So is unlearning also learning? Yes,
it is. There is a psychological phenomenon called neuroplasticity, which means that your brain, and if you see the picture of a brain, it looks like there are pathways in it. So what that means is that every time you do something consistently, there are pathways. And to stop a behavior is to learn a new behavior. You don't stop a behavior by stopping. You have to use another behavior to replace it. So if you smoke, to stop smoking, look for something healthier that can take or give you the same ginger that smoking does, and that's how you stop smoking.
You know what, Gabriel, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. You've had a fantastic month with you. And if you missed any of those clips, please visit our YouTube channel. That's TVC Entertainment. That's what you look for on YouTube. And past episodes, you'll be able to see and hear what Gabriel had to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me again. So glad.
All right. We'd also, as always, love to hear your thoughts and opinions on exactly what you've heard. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on Let's hear what you think. I can't wait. We're going to be taking a quick break, but there's still quite a bit more coming your way right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
And you are welcome on SME today. The art director and lead recipe formulator at Nature's Goodies, Karima Jagun Ologolo, will join us here. She is actually here right now. Now, at Nature's Goodies, they help you transition from, your journey from artificial sugars to sweeteners and sweeteners to natural ones with their dried fruits and other very excellent recipes. You are welcome, Karima. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, it's very interesting when I heard what you do, and as a lead recipe formulator, I wanted to ask so much more. Now, you, what exactly do you guys do at Nature's Foods? And how do you come up with these recipes?
Well, at Nature's Goodies, basically, we are into drying fruits. We dry the fruits, we help to extend the shelf life, and it also gives you an opportunity to have your fruits as snacks. And you can equally have it anywhere on the go.
Interesting. So you source for your fruits in and around Nigeria, I guess.
Yes.
What am I looking at right now? This is dried pineapple chips. I love pineapples, except that my daughter just can't stand them. She itches her. She says there's a certain sensation it gives her, which I've never, ever experienced. I don't know what it is. So it's a very, well, it's not messy, but it's a very liquid type fruit, when you're having it. So having it dried is very interesting. But am I missing out on anything when I dry these fruits?
At all. You're not missing out on anything because drying the fruits is under low heat over a period of time.
Okay.
So the nutrients are conserved. It's just like the typical situation where someone puts a pot of stew on the fire and technically forgets it. What happens? The stew dries up and then it becomes sweeter. The nutrients become and the ingredients are now concentrated and the volume is reduced. That's exactly what happens with drying.
Wow.
Only that we don't forget it. We time
okay.
it.
Very interesting. How exactly are you a recipe formulator? Is this something you do by research or is it by experience?
Well, kind of both. I'm into research of how to get other sweeteners from natural stuff like dates, date syrup, date powder. I know there are people doing it, but one thing I have observed is that date syrup doesn't particularly have a shelf life.
Okay.
You have to keep it in the fridge or in the freezer. So I'm looking into how we can have it and still preserve it without adding any form of chemical preservative to it.
I was going to talk about
and keep it on the table.
That's very interesting. So what exactly do you have against artificial sugars?
Well, the truth is artificial sweeteners, artificial preservatives, artificial asparagus, they are not particularly good for our health.
Not built for us, are they?
Over a period of time, they tend to begin to give us issues. Now, the way it gives you issues with one person is different from the other person. But the bottom line is they tend to give us issues. Now, if we look back to our forefathers, we find that they are stronger, they were stronger and healthier.
Especially stronger teeth.
Teeth, yes. And a lot of us now, we see very young people coming down with diseases, illnesses that we knew as illnesses of the old. Diabetes, for example. I actually saw a documentary where a 3-year-old was diabetic. And I was like, what's going on? And then also all these artificialities, some of us actually react to it one way or the other. I, for one, I always noticed that when I drank certain things, I always had a bitter taste in my mouth every time. So as a child, I just stayed away from them. Because I didn't like the bitter after effects. But I like sweet things. I found myself just staying away from this. I said, I don't want this bitter aftertaste. And with time, I stumbled across an imported version of these. And it was actually strawberry then. And then I was like, this is interesting. It was really sweet. It was natural. And then I began to, look into it. I found out what I could do and get it done.
Tell you what, let's come and talk about the business side of things, which is what most people are very interested in. This is your occupation, is it? This is what you do. that occupies most of your time, or all of your time, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
All of your time. And this is how you get by. You make a livelihood out of this. If I was going to start packaging and also formulating, how do I get started? Is it something I have to go to a school for, get a certain kind of training for, have a certain kind of experience from?
Well, yes, it is best. One needs to have certain experience. It is best.
Any academic background, or I'm just good as an accountant who just simply wants to go into this kind of packaging?
Well, if you can get some.
What's your background, for instance?
Well, my background is biochemistry.
There you go. It's no wonder, is it?
My background is biochemistry. I have BSc, MSc biochemistry.
MSc, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You must have been very, very interested in chemistry then, and biology.
Well, yes, but eventually I trailed off and came in here.
Food nutrition.
Part of some of the things I discovered along the line, just...
So for any ordinary person, would they have to go get certain degrees to be able to do what you do?
Not 100%.
Not 100%.
It's good when you have a knowledge in
Certify you
nutrition,
as, yeah.
when you have a knowledge in packaging, when you have, when you have all those knowledge, because when you're doing food and it's just for the home, you can do it in one way. But when you're doing food for commercial purpose, it's a whole different ball game.
Okay. I talked in the beginning about sourcing these material. As a business, for instance, some of your raw materials are not basically here. You can't find them here in Nigeria. I'm looking at this little bowl here. These are strawberries, aren't they? Wow. How do you get them? Because
I get them from Jos.
you can grow strawberries in Jos.
Strawberries
I remember.
are grown in Nigeria, in Jos.
Oh, yes, yes. Do you dry these as well?
I haven't started drying strawberries commercially.
Commercially, okay.
Because I didn't particularly like the outcome.
Okay.
So I'm still working on it.
Funny thing about strawberries, they're bitter, aren't they?
Well, not all the time.
Commercially, we're made to. May I?
Feel free.
Commercially, we're made to
frozen
believe that they are sweet, but the truth is that they have a very strong sour taste.
They have a strong sour
Mary,
taste.
Mary, can I have a fork from the kitchen, please? I'd like to take one of these out and actually eat it, if you don't mind.
Cool.
My debutante, very beautiful assistant will help me with a fork. Come, bring it over. Come on, bring it over. Thank you very much.
So you're supposed to give someone a fork like
With
this. But I'm going
grace.
to give it to you like this.
Thank you very much, madam. So I'm going to try out one of your products, and I'm going to give a feedback. Strawberries.
Frozen.
Woo!
It's cold.
It slaps.
And cold.
Commercially, we're made to think that they're sweet, but they're actually sour.
Strawberries naturally don't have that sweet taste. But they can be juicy.
They are.
They can be somewhere in between sour, sweet, and some can actually be sour.
Quite
That's to
sour.
be sincere.
All right.
But what I've observed is that strawberries from Jos, especially when it's in the season, they're actually rather juicy.
So
you'll need to add some sweetener to it.
So bring them all the way from Jos. How do you preserve them through that journey? Are they flown over, or
Yes,
are
they're
they
flown down to
flown?
Lakes.
You can't drive them down.
You can't
can
no.
They
You
have to be
can't
flown.
drive them down.
Does that affect the cost when you serve them as a finished product?
Well, technically, yes.
And then your bottom line, how much do you make when you have all these things, all these raw materials come to you, and then you process them and then you put them out? Do you make a very healthy profit margin?
I'm happy with what I make.
You're happy. You're a bit too
Yes.
content here, Karima.
No, actually, when I started this idea, I was looking a lot into trying to get people to see that you can actually get something sweet without going artificial.
Okay.
And a lot of people still don't believe it yet.
Okay.
So I don't particularly look at the financial benefits.
All right.
I'm just after getting a lot more people to know about it.
It's very altruistic. That's very nice. Is there a community of people who are like you that one could join and be a part and actually be able to grow in these efforts?
Well, I've come across a few other people that are into natural, but I don't know yet if there's a community. I'm also trying to look for.
Maybe you should start one then, I guess. There are a few other items on our table. There's an oil bottle there. Is that oil or honey? That's oil.
No, that's honey.
That's honey. Okay, I have a very strong aversion to honey, but It's okay.
Yeah, I hear some people have aversions.
Yeah, I'm not a honey person. It's just comes out the wrong end of the bee. So I'm like, ugh. And what is this paste we have here?
Okay, this is jaggery.
What now?
Jaggery.
Not beggery.
Sugar. No, not beggery.
Jaggery.
Jaggery. Sugarcane sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
Wait,
I usually.
Where do we get our regular sugar from? Sugarcane.
It's also from sugarcane, but that is processed. That has
This
been
is not
bleached.
processed.
That has been bleached and some other things have been added to it. But this one is the sugarcane juice boiled down, concentrated, and then packed.
And what does it taste like?
It's like sugar.
Tastes like sugar. I would really like to know, so I'm going to once again go at it with my trusty fork here, just so I have to.
It's hard.
It's like a rock, guys.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's like a rock.
But it's actually easy to break.
Okay.
I usually like putting it, because it doesn't have that preservative and all, I usually like putting it in the freezer.
Okay, I got a little piece here.
But from the market, you're told that you can just keep it anywhere where there's fresh air and it's good.
It's delicious.
It's very sweet.
It doesn't taste like sugar. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I love it. Can I keep it?
By all means.
I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. Karima, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope that your endeavors are well, celebrated by people, because it's a fantastic thing to do, especially when you're looking out for people's healthiness. If there's a word like that.
Can I say something?
Thank you. Yes, please. What was you get?
You mentioned something about your daughter complaining about pineapples. I've also heard and I've experienced it also. But although I don't experience it all the time, but it's mostly got to do with the eyes of the pineapple.
Oh, okay. So if you cut those out,
yes, when you're
you won't
cutting
have that
the
problem.
pineapple, try
Thank
to
you for that
cut
tip.
a lot of that off.
Thank you for that. From an expert. Thank you very much, Karima. Good to have you here. And we're looking forward to having you and most of all your products next time. Hopefully you've learned something from here today. And of course, perhaps maybe if you want to go into that kind of business, I'm sure you found her a handle on our screen, and we'll let you know if you inquire. We've got our other hosts inside of the kitchen willing and ready to say goodbye for a Monday edition. Guys, I've had fun. I don't know about you guys. Have you?
Yeah.
Well, we have been having a great time.
A marvelous Monday, if you
Wow.
ask me.
You guys look like the album cover of a boy-girl band.
Really?
That's a very nice one. Very nice.
You have too much fun. Don't do.
Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.